All right, guys, well, the motor is ready to go.
You got that big dog compression in it.
That's right.
Ugh.
All right, first drive in the Willys. Welcome back to another episode of Rustomod. So we're back on our 1950 Willys Wagon and we're gonna try to get this thing running and driving. If you guys missed the last episode, we actually got a new motor for the TDI swapped Willys Wagon here. This motor actually is fully built and it is a better application than what we had previously. So we got to pull the motor in and out a few times to make sure everything fits. So I'll show you guys everything we had to modify for the new ALH TDI to fit in our old Willys Wagon. So let's get to it. So the new motor is actually a fully built Volkswagen turbo diesel and it is called an ALH. Now this thing has actually been bored out to a 2-liter and we have bigger injectors in it. We're actually swapping it to a mechanical fuel pump. So you saw that on the last episode. We pulled the old motor out. We're putting the new motor in just to kind of see how everything fits, but it doesn't exactly fit the way that the original Willys motor fit. So we had to change some things around to be able to get this thing to work. So I'll show you guys what we've been up to make this ALH fit in our old Willys Wagon. So we actually had to modify our front motor mount to work with the new engine versus the old engine that we had in this. It's very similar, but basically it just comes right off where the stock Volkswagen motor mount went and utilized the same mounting point that we had with the original TDI that we had in here. The next thing that we have to modify is the oil pan. So if you can see, the adapter plate actually hits the oil pan a little bit. And it's not a big deal, but it actually blocks off the rear oil pan bolts. So if you ever wanted to pull the oil pan off in the car, you're not going to be able to do that unless you remove the adapter plate. So we're going to have to modify that. So that way, if we ever want to pull the oil pan off in the car, we can do that. The only other thing we have to modify to get the motor back in the car is this coolant flange. So basically, there's a fitting that goes down and faces the bell housing, and it actually contacts the adapter plate and the bell housing. So we're going to have to modify this a little bit to add some clearance so that way we can get all the hoses on and have this thing cool properly. You can see how tight it is in there. It's between the head and the firewall. It looks like it'll fit, but the problem is that bottom spout sticks right at our bell housing. So we're going to have to chop that off and add a 90-degree fitting on there so that way we can run all of our coolant lines. All right, so now that I got you guys caught up on the game plan, we're going to yank the motor back out of the Willys, tackle all these problems, get it back in the Willys, and hopefully get this thing running and driving.
Several days later.
So TDI looks a little different than when we pulled it out a few weeks ago. So you can get a better look at our front motor mount here that we made. We tried to match the color of the Willys, powder coated that. So we had to figure out our coolant situation here. So on this motor, it actually has an oil cooler on the side, and so we had to route all the lines and stuff. Now, if you remember on the last episode when we pulled this out, we tried to fit our adapter plate here on the back, and it was hitting our coolant passage on the back of the head, and the line that runs around here, actually this line here, was wrapped around where our adapter plate wouldn't be able to go on. So we had modified this, so we actually basically just capped it, and we moved one of the lines that the heater core would go to up front here. And then we still have our oil cooler hose, and we capped it here so it doesn't wrap around. And then we added this little bracket to be able to make this thing bolt to the side. So that works really well. It's a lot simpler that way. And then on the back, we have our plastic housing here for our radiators and stuff like that. So the other cooler line is going to run to this. Now, this originally went all the way down and it was hitting our transmission adapter, but we actually tapped it and we put this fitting on here so that way it goes straight to our oil cooler. That works out really well, and it clears where we have our adapter plate. Now for our adapter plate, we actually machine this down so that way we can access our oil pan bolts, so that way we can get our oil pan off if we ever need to in the car. So before, it actually was blocking the bolts, so that way if you ever want to pull your oil pan, you have to remove the entire engine. This way it lets us access these bolts, and then we can actually probably slide the oil pan out. And if we ever need to change it or something, if we crack it, we can access it and pull it out in the car. All right, so the other thing that we did on the front here is we actually added this tensioner here. So basically we couldn't run our air conditioning compressor here, and the air conditioning delete kit is basically just having a pulley here. It would still hit our suspension. So we added this tensioner here, so that way we can run the belt around and it won't have any pulleys down low here. It just adds it in the middle here. We've seen some guys basically weld a plate here or make a plate here with a tensioner that slides. We wanted to use an actual tensioner, so that way the tip belt tensions, and that should be it. So the Willys is basically done. The only other thing that we had to do was we actually surfaced this exhaust because we noticed that it was leaking around the exhaust ports. So we went ahead, surfaced that, and then we can put that on. So motor is pretty much done and ready to go into the Willys, but we got to put all the turbo stuff and everything to get it ready to go, and then we can put the thing in. All right, so we got the motor pretty much ready to go. We're waiting on the exhaust manifold gaskets. They should be in pretty soon. So now we're just pulling off the electric power steering pump and pulling that out of the way, so that way we're going to use our mechanical power steering pump and we can get the motor ready to go in the Willys. All right, guys, well, the motor is ready to go. We got the turbo on, we got all the accessories ready to go. We have our new engine mount. We have all of the coolant lines and stuff ready to go. We actually ended up having to pull this off. We didn't want it to get damaged because it's a little bit tight here between the adapter plate and the transmission, but we should be able to put that on once we get it in the car. So everything is ready to go. So the only next step is to put it in the Willys. All right, so we got the Willys motor back in, and everything left we just have to hook up. So our motor mount worked good. You can see we have all the coolant lines in the back ran. That plastic piece did work. We had to put it on after, and we have plenty of clearance there. So the next thing we have to figure out is the throttle. Since the injection pump is kicked over here, we got to make a different throttle, and we have to use our 700R4 has a TV cable that controls the shifting and stuff. We have to adapt that to this pump, and everything else should pretty much hook up the same. All the intercooler stuff at least seemed to go exactly where the old one was. The turbo placement hasn't really changed. Our exhaust should be the same. The coolant lines are different, so we're gonna have to run different coolant lines to the back farther. The bottom one is pretty close to where it went, and we have to adapt our power steering lines to the new power steering pump, but that should be pretty straightforward, and just hook everything back up. So now we're just going to spend time trying to figure all that problems out, hook everything back up that we can, and then try to figure out throttle cable and power steering lines and the TV cable. All right, so we got everything pretty much hooked up for the engine to run. So we spent some time, we just hooked everything up underneath. You've already seen us do this a million times. So we hooked all the torque converter bolts and all the stuff that we had to do underneath, and we hooked the fuel lines up. We hooked our start wire up and the starter and everything. So Didn't hook any of the coolant stuff up yet. We just want to try to get this thing running because I don't think this motor has ever been started before. So we're gonna try to crank it over and see if this thing fires up.
It's gonna fire up right there. No.
I don't know.
It's like clanky.
All right, we sprung an oil leak from the turbo feed, but not really a big deal. Tighten that up. It fired right up, which is good, but it looks like our injection timing is off. It's really knocky sounding. Not like it has a knock, but that diesel knock. So we're going to adjust the injection timing, but it fired right up, made good oil pressure. So
Diesel I've ever tried.
yeah, it runs pretty good. It definitely built injection pressure much faster than all the other TDIs that we've done here. So we're going to try to adjust that and try to see if we can get this thing running pretty good.
You got that big dog compression in there.
That's right.
All right, so right now Patrick's adjusting the injection pump timing. This one's a lot easier because the pulley on the injection pump is actually slotted, so that way we can just move the engine and then adjust the timing without actually moving the physical pump. So I'm gonna get that dialed in and then try to get this thing fired up. It did have a big diesel clatter knock thing, so trying to retard the timing a little bit, but it fired right up and it idled, so we're in a good start here.
Several long days later.
Trying to get everything hooked up under the hood. We got all the coolant lines ran. It's really similar to the other one. Some things were different. We did have to run a coolant line in the back where everything connects to the back of the head a little bit differently. We ended up bending the throttle cable so that way it works, and we made our kickdown cable thing work here. Actually, this is the TV cable for the 700R4. We made this bracket. Not really sure if it's gonna work, but we're gonna find out right now because we're going on our first test drive. So let's pull this thing out and see how it drives. All right, first drive in the Willys, kind of second drive. We went around the block once, but we're having some problems. To me, it sounds like the timing is off on this thing. It's really clattery still, but it's driving at least. So we have some fine tuning to do on the engine, but at least it's back up and moving under its own power. And it's shifting, which is good, meaning our TV cable is kind of adjusted in the right spot. So everything seems to be working. It's just, once again, the engine needs to be tuned a little bit better. All right, after driving this thing a little bit, we decided that we're going to adjust the timing a little bit more. You can tell in the video it had that diesel knock, so it seems like the injection timing was a little bit off. So we went ahead and we retarded the timing because we advanced it before. So we actually retarded the timing a little bit and it drives much better. It's a lot more power. It seems to be a lot happier. It doesn't have that diesel clatter knock that it had before. So let's go on a test drive and see how this thing drives now with the new adjusted timing. All right, so we got the Willys tuned pretty good. Trying to let this thing warm up, but it's much better than what it was initially. So we got the timing pretty close, I think, and it drives a lot better. So you can see it's not smoking as bad as it was before. There was a ton of smoke coming out of the thing. Obviously the timing was way off, but now it's pretty good. It has a lot of power and doesn't smoke nearly as bad. All right, well, after the catastrophe of power tour, the Willys is finally back on the road. Pretty happy with the way that this thing came out. We have the new motor. There's still a lot of stuff to do, just little tidbit stuff, but as a running and driving car, it's pretty good. So we got to change a little bit of stuff, but it's good enough to drive to car shows, do some cool stuff with it, and maybe even off-road this thing in the future. But that is going to be it for the Willys. So the next car on the agenda that we have to start working on is the Rambler. The Rambler we're taking on Hot Rod Power Tour this year. This thing's an absolute mess, and I'll do a full video series on redoing this whole thing. You'll see the Willys and the Rambler in many future episodes here on Rustomod. So if you like that kind of content, stay tuned. We have a ton more stuff coming down the pipeline. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe so you can stay up to date on all the episodes and all the awesome cars here on Rustomod. And we'll see you guys in the next episode.